Lindsay June Sandiford was born on June 25, 1956 in the United Kingdom. She had 2 children, and Lindsay lived an honest life, or at least was never caught doing anything illegal. It wasn't until 2012 when Lindsay decided to do the unthinkable at 56 years old. On May 19, 2012, Lindsay took a flight to Bangkok, Thailand from the United Kingdom. Her next flight was from Bangkok using the Thai Airways to Bali, which is a province in Indonesia. She arrived at the Ngurah Rai International Airport and happened to be chosen for a routine luggage check. The routine luggage check turned out to be a goldmine for the airport authorities because they found 10.6 pounds of cocaine in the lining of her suitcase. Investigators began questioning her about the large amount of drugs in her suitcase, and she initially told them that she was forced into smuggling the drugs by a gang who threatened her and her family. Investigators told her that drug smuggling offenses can carry a death sentence, so she decided to come clean, thinking that they would be lenient with her for working with them. She claimed that she was asked to smuggle the drugs by a couple who was living in Bali. The couple was Julian Ponder and Rachel Dougal. Julian was a British antiques dealer. Lindsay was arrested, but investigators still followed up on her claims about Julian and Rachel. Their home was searched, and police uncovered almost 49 grams of cocaine and 3 grams of marijuana, so they were both charged with drug trafficking as well. Later that year, Lindsay's trial began. She reverted back to her first story that a gang made her smuggle the drugs as her defense. Her lawyers tried to argue that she had a history of mental health issues, and it made it hard for her not to be pressured when it came to threats. Although claiming to be innocent, she apologized to the court. I would like to begin by apologizing to the Republic of Indonesia and the Indonesian people for my involvement. I would have never become involved in something like this, but the lives of my children were in danger, and I felt I had to protect them. Lindsay's son testified in court as well, saying that he felt his mother was forced to carry the drugs due to a disagreement she had with someone when he was unable to pay rent and she paid it for him.
I think the judges did not take into consideration Lindsay's remorse for her actions. In her previous statements, she has already said that she regretted what she did, and she has apologised to the people of Indonesia.
Dr. Jennifer Fleetwood also testified on Lindsay's behalf. There is evidence to suggest that a trafficker would seek someone who was vulnerable. Having reviewed extracts from Lindsay's medical records, I know that Lindsay has a history of mental health issues. This may have unfortunately made her an attractive target for threats, manipulation, and coercion. Lindsay's defense and, surprisingly, prosecutors also recommended Lindsay to be spared from the death penalty and receive a 15-year custodial sentence. Julian Ponder was cleared of drug smuggling, but he was convicted of being in possession of narcotics and was sentenced to 6 years in prison. Rachel Dougal was found guilty of failing to report a crime. As for Lindsay, despite everyone else involved getting leniency in terms of their sentences, on January 22, 2013, a panel of judges ruled there were no mitigating circumstances in Lindsay's favor, and they would have to impose the death sentence. The judges all shared their thoughts on Lindsay. Amsar Simanjuntak said that Lindsay's actions ruined Bali's reputation as a tourist destination, and she undermined Indonesia's fight against drugs. Kumang Wijaya Adi said Lindsay showed no remorse.
Lindsay Sandiford was expecting a guilty verdict today, but nothing like this.
Lindsay Sandiford has been found guilty of importing narcotics. The defendant is sentenced to death.
She was then transferred to Karabogan prison to await her execution. When Lindsay was sentenced to death, the last execution in Indonesia was in the year 2008, but in February 2013, Indonesia's Attorney General, Basrif Arif, said that they would be resuming executions. They resumed on March 15, 2013, and Lindsay began writing her family members thinking she would be executed very soon. Indonesia's executions are carried out by firing squads in a discreet location in the middle of the night, and typically the inmates get no heads up, so she was very frightened. Years went by, Lindsay was not executed, and she began appealing her sentence. Her appeals kept getting rejected due to the fact that there has not been any new evidence presented and there is no proof that there was negligence in the trial. Other information, like Lindsay being a first-time offender, has not been a sufficient reason for them to change her sentence. Back in the UK, where they no longer carry out executions, a law firm was working hard to seek judicial help from the UK government. They were seeking a review of the law that stated the UK government does not provide funds for the legal representation of British nationals facing criminal proceedings overseas. The case was heard by the High Court in front of Mrs. Justice Gloucester and Mrs. Justice Nicola Davies on January 31st, and they ruled that Lindsay had no reasonable prospect of success. As of today, no one at this point can save Lindsay, and she is still currently on death row awaiting her execution. Thank you all for watching another episode of Death Row Executions. Do you think foreigners deserve leniency when they commit crimes in other countries? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.